People say a penny dropped from the Empire State Building can kill you. So, what actually happens if someone drops one on your head? Most people imagine the penny slicing through the air like a tiny metal bullet. It falls for hundreds of meters, builds up insane speed, and by the time it reaches the ground, it hits with the force of a gunshot. At least, that is the myth. But the real physics turns this story into something way more interesting. First, picture a penny falling. It's not spinning gracefully. It's not flying straight down. A penny is short, flat, light, and terrible at being aerodynamic. So the moment it starts falling, the air around it grabs it from every angle and tosses it around like a tiny drunk frisbee. This matters because falling objects fight two forces the entire way down. Gravity pulls the penny downwards. Air pushes back upwards. And for really light objects, that air resistance becomes the boss almost immediately. If you drop a bowling ball off a skyscraper, gravity barely notices the air. But a penny is like dropping a feather made of metal. The air tells it exactly what to do. Let's talk about speed. When something falls, it does not accelerate forever. Eventually, gravity and air resistance balance out. This is called terminal velocity, which is the fastest a falling object can go through the air. A penny's terminal velocity is about 25 to 30 meters per second. That sounds fast, but in real life, it is roughly the speed of a good cyclist going downhill. Strong enough that you would not enjoy getting hit, but nowhere near strong enough to kill you. In fact, it is not even strong enough to break your skin. You could stand on the sidewalk, look straight up, and take the hit. It might sting. You might say something you regret, but you would walk away completely fine. No skull fracture. No dramatic news headline. Just a coin bouncing off your head. That is the whole news story. And this is assuming the penny actually reaches you. Because here is the crazier part. A penny does not fall straight down. It wobbles, swerves, flips, and drifts in the wind, like it is trying to avoid the ground entirely. At the top of the Empire State Building, the wind is much stronger than at the bottom. So most pennies thrown off the top do not even land near the building. They get blown onto rooftops, fire escapes, or the road a block away. So no, the penny is not a bullet. The penny is more like a tiny wobbling metal leaf. But if the penny cannot kill you, what actually happens if someone drops something heavier from that height? Well, here's where the physics gets unfriendly. If you drop something heavier and more aerodynamic, like a small steel ball or a phone, the story changes completely. Those objects do not tumble, they slice through the air, and they reach terminal velocities high enough to break bone. A baseball dropped from that height hits hard enough to break bone. A wrench would be dangerous, a hammer would be worse. But the penny stays harmless because it is too light to keep accelerating and too badly shaped to stay stable. This is why workers on tall towers carry tool lanyards, not because a penny could kill someone, but because a wrench absolutely could. Here's something else people get wrong about the myth. They imagine the penny slicing through concrete when it lands. But in real experiments, pennies dropped from skyscrapers barely stick into soft materials like cardboard. If you dropped a penny inside a vacuum tube from the same height, with no air to slow it down, you would get a completely different story. In a vacuum, everything falls at the same rate. Bowling ball or penny, it does not matter. Both accelerate all the way down at full gravity. Inside a vacuum, the penny really would hit with deadly force. But the world you live in is full of air. And air does not care what myths say. People compare the penny myth to bullets, but bullets behave nothing like pennies. A bullet is dense, aerodynamic, and its shape gives it stability. Here is the part nobody expects. The Empire State Building itself helps protect people on the ground. The shape of the building creates air currents that push lightweight things upward and outward. It is almost as if the building is designed to keep coins from becoming weapons. So, what would actually hurt you if dropped from that height? A penny will not. A paperclip will not. A crumpled receipt will not. A phone can. A tool can. A baseball absolutely can. A penny, though, will never be the villain of this story. If this made you more annoying at parties, subscribe.